Hey guys, thanks for checking me out. This time we've got PlayArt's Kai Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2. This is Raiden's kind of first appearance look. This is what he was wearing and how he looked when he first showed up in Metal Gear Solid 2. And for those who don't know, just a quick little history about Raiden and his character. So, like in Metal Gear Solid 2, when that game came out, everything that we had seen in previews and the demo that was released all showed Snake, Solid Snake. That's who you played as. Basically the same character as from Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1. And then after basically you beat the section of the game that the demo was from, you take over as Raiden, and you're just riding through the rest of the game. And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but that was a complete shock to me. I had no idea Raiden was even in the game. I had no idea that that he was any part of the game, and that you wouldn't be playing as Snake through the whole game. And you ended up playing as Raiden through probably 5/6 of that game. So, a little surprising. And a lot of people didn't like that. I think some people felt like they had the wool pulled over their eyes a little bit or something. I didn't like Raiden for that reason at first. By the time I finished the game, I came around on him as I learned a little bit more about him. At the time, I thought he was, when I finished Metal Gear 2, I felt like he was a more interesting character than Snake was, because Snake was just kind of a clone of some dude that you didn't really know a whole lot about by the time that came around. And Raiden, as weird as his past may be, is less confusing than Snake's. Between Solid Snake and Liquid Snake and Big Boss and Solidus, it's really confusing stuff, even in Metal Gear Solid 2. So by the end of it, I kind of like Raiden, more than I would have thought I liked him more than I thought I would when I first seen him, and I realized that, okay, this isn't Snake. So, that being said, I was a little on the fence about when this character came up, or this figure, I should say, came up for pre-order. When they announced him, I thought, well, I could probably skip him. I've got Raiden from Metal Gear Rising. That's pretty cool, but eventually I just figured I'm a pretty big Metal Gear fan. I think it is my favorite gaming series, so I couldn't pass up Raiden. So here he is. Sorry for that kind of long-winded diatribe, but that's important to me. Is I don't buy all these PlayArt's Kai figures. I try to. I shouldn't say I try to. I tend to only get the characters that I like and that I'm into. And I kind of went back and forth on Raiden, and that had nothing to do with like the quality of the figure. It had everything to do with just Raiden as a character. But now that that's all out of the way, let's pop him open and take a look. Alright, Raiden comes with the display base that pretty much all PlayArt's Kai figures come with nowadays. He comes with the mask for his skull suit with the breathing apparatus. He has 3 different right hands. He has a fist, a hand with a trigger finger for his gun, one that holds his sword, and he's got 2 fists for each hand, well, one for each hand, and then he's got a left hand kind of just at rest. He comes with the high-frequency blade and the silent SOCOM. Alright, so here he is. Now that I got him opened up, I just want to say I also forgot to show you there's the instruction sheet for how to put together the base and how to switch out the limbs. And just to recap with the hands, 2 fists, a right hand for a gun, right hand for a sword, and a left hand for the sword as well. So, right and left sword hands, right gun hand, and right and left fists. So yeah, this is a pretty cool figure, I must say. He can stand on his own, for one. That's a big plus. That's more than I can say for my Gray Fox figure or my Metal Gear Rising Raiden figure. No, Rising Raiden can stand. It just takes forever to get him in that pose. But Raiden here doesn't seem to have any issues. He's got the kind of standard PlayArt's Kai articulation. He's got the double ball jointed head. just do this real quick here. Where he's got a neck that is ball jointed at the top and at the head, in the base of the head and the top of the neck. Kind of see it there. So you can do forward to back movements and that. And no further articulation in the neck or the top of the chest. The torso and the chest are ball jointed together the same way. And it's a little bigger, it's a little stiffer, but there is that articulation there as well. The shoulders have this Polaris Kai kind of wing that comes out, but it's not. It doesn't cut into the chest like some of them do, so it only goes forward about that far. The biceps swivel. They swivel here at this line here, not up here like it might look. He's got these ratcheting ball jointed elbows, wrists, and ankles. He also has the pretty typical Polaris Kai kind of rubbery, soft plastic pelvis that allows him to have a little better range of motion. He's got the same hips as Raiden does, and as the Metal Gear Rising Raiden does, and also I don't know, Batman, the variant Polaris variant Batman and Green Lantern. They all have these ratcheting ball jointed hips with a thigh, or I should say kind of like a hip swivel built into the inside of the hip there. The cup that attaches to the ball that comes out of the hip swivels on that ball, so it can roll in and out. And I don't know if I'm missing something here, but mine, the right leg swivels at the thigh, but the left does not. The left looks like it should, the way it's sculpted. It definitely looks like it could, but it doesn't. And I've pressed and twisted on it pretty hard, and it's not going anywhere, so I don't know if mine is stuck or if there really is only articulation on the right thigh. The knees do not swivel. There's no swivels there. It is these double-hinged ratcheting joints. They're pretty substantial, pretty beefy joints. And again, like I say, the little ball joint in the ankle and then the toes rock. So, there's Raiden now. He comes with the Silence SOCOM. This is basically the same thing that Snake from the Metal Gear 1 Polaris Kai Snake comes with. Same holster. And the gun itself with the silencer. And the laser sight. And the flashlight, I guess. Silencer should come off of this gun. It did with Snake's. Yeah. There it is. And then he comes with the sword as well. He also comes with dog tags. Now the dog tags, there's nothing on them. There's no writing. There's no anything. It's just silver with a black border. But that's fine. It kind of gets the point across. The little mini chain here is metal. It does have the little beaded chain, I don't know, hasp, I guess you'd call it. Nice touch. He definitely should have that because he had it throughout the whole game. And his sword. The scabbard on this sword, I don't know if it'll pick up too well the lighting situation I got here, but it's kind of a dark brown. It has highlights of brown kind of here and there. It's kind of hard to tell here, but you can kind of see it there a little bit. It's dark brown. The sword comes out of its sheath. This is the high-frequency blade that Olga Gurlukovich gives to Snake to give to Raiden. And decent blade, a little more curved than I was expecting to see. Not too bad. Nice sword. I think it's starting to become obvious I'm a sucker for characters with swords. I think all these Polaris guys, Batman, Raiden, Gray Fox, this Raiden, they all have swords, and I couldn't pass up on any of them. The strap here for his sword that goes around him is very similar to the strap that is attached to Snake's FAMAS or FAMAS or however it's pronounced rifle. It's rubbery but kind of tough. Feels a little bit like cheap leather or something. It's decent. It's definitely rubber, but it's a nice tough feeling rubber. Now the paint job on Raiden is pretty nice. There's a couple of spots on him that are particularly eye-catching. Well, let's start right at the top, I guess, with his head. Sorry, let me work out my camera here. So he's got this Play Arts hair that the other Raiden has, which is, it has a little bit of kind of like a little flecks of metallic paint in it. So his hair kind of looks like it's shining and kind of shimmering, which is a cool effect. I don't know how well it translates looking at it in a video, but under lights and like looking at it in real life, it's pretty cool. I gotta say, it's a nice effect to have on this hair. Every now and then when the light catches it just right and it kind of glints, I don't really like the way that looks, because it looks like he's got glitter in his hair, and so that's kind of a bad effect. But that only happens really when the light catches it just right. After the, if that doesn't happen, it looks good. It looks more like hair than most hair you'd see on other figures, so that's pretty good. Raiden's face came out pretty well. He has that kind of androgynous look that Raiden, I guess, was designed to have, but it's not that androgynous. Looking at him up close, it's a good sculpt. I think the face is not bad, although he will not be displayed with that face. This skull suit head is really what's going to be on him for the foreseeable future. So I haven't put it on yet. I'm about to, but they did one thing, at least so far it seems like they did one thing right, which is they tabbed this hair in right at the back in the middle of the hair, so that hopefully he has some range of motion where he can look up and still have hair that comes out of the back. Normally, if you have hair that comes down like this onto the neck of a figure, it kills pretty much all the articulation in the head. But this is a nice, pliable, soft plastic. It should be able to, you should be able to get some movement out of his head with this mask on. So, like I say, they paint, excuse me, on his hair. It has kind of a metallic quality to it. And then a couple other parts on him do, which are his shoulders, in this band right here that goes around his shoulders. It's a kind of a powder blue, metallic, light blue. It's done very well. It looks really cool. I don't know. Maybe I didn't trip off of that in the preview pictures I seen of him, but seeing him when I got him here in the package, that caught my eye right away. And then this sternum piece right here, this chest plate, goes over the front, has a nice metallic light blue paint job on it. He also got these little bits of text all over him, like labels for this suit. You can see them all over the place. Some of them actually say things, some of them not so much. This one says integrated combat. Can't quite make it out. Probably be able to read it better on the screen. Integrated combat tourniquet system. So you crouch and you heal. That's how that works. The skull suit design, it comes across pretty well in this figure. I'll give you a look at the entire thing if I can. The skull suit, pretty cool looking by and large. It's a little tight for my taste, but that also was the design they were going for, so that's okay. But very cool looking figure, I must say. I'm glad I got him. I always am. I'm always more impressed with them when I get them in person, and I'm always happy to have gotten him, or to get these figures, so it makes pulling the trigger on them a little easier. Just give you a little more shots of the kind of the detail around on this figure. kind of odd that only one leg might rotate. I have to wonder if that one's seized up or not. The sculpt is different, so maybe that really is just one rotating leg. Another metallic band down around the base of the calf here on each leg. I've got some little paint errors on mine. Nothing that stands out too bad. But you can see here some paint misplaced. Very clearly kind of saturated in between the toes there, and then spotted here and a little bit there. Not ideal, but you know, I think that their quality control probably still could use, you know, some improvement. It's not perfect. I don't know if perfect is, if we can expect perfect, but they're expensive enough that I say why not. Alright, so let's give him his sword and his gun and his mask. Okay, so a couple of things. His arms with that ball joint, without a double jointed elbow, that's about as much, that's about as far as he can bend his arm in. Looks like just a hair past a 90-degree angle. The hand, his left hand, really doesn't want to hold that sword. It will, as it is now, but it was a little bit of a fight to make it stay in, and it pops right out. So, a couple things worth noting. The right hand with the sword is more closed, holds it no problem, and at a better angle, in my opinion. So there's that. I gotta say, I think he definitely looks a lot cooler with his skull mask. Well, skull suit and mask on. Looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to change that. Pretty sure this is the way he'll be displayed. Although I gotta say, the Raiden head that he came with was pretty good. And as you can see, you can kind of get... Oops, there goes the sword again. And there goes Raiden. You can kind of see he gets some decent range of movement out of his head with that hair on there anyway. Which is pretty good. That's impressive. Alright, so we got some size comparisons. Let's get to that. Here he is with Metal Gear Rising Raiden and Gray Fox from Metal Gear 1. Size-wise, he's much more on par with Gray Fox than he is Rising Raiden. Rising Raiden's bigger. Not a lot bigger, but he's definitely bigger. And there you have it. So I suppose that's it. A couple other little things that I noticed about him just before I go is that he's wearing a watch, first of all. That's tucked underneath a rolled-up sleeve. It's a nice little piece of detail. And the sculpting on his shoulders is such... it's like how Batman's was, the Batman variant play arts, is that the way it's sculpted, there's no... The articulation will only go about that far. He can't really raise his arm up too well. Also, the elbows, which I think is a bigger problem. These elbow pads they don't allow his arm to straighten out completely. So that's as straight as his arm gets. Now these arms are set on pegs, so maybe you could slide them apart. I haven't tried it yet. It's to get this thing to clear a little better, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Kind of sucks for posing figures with swords, I think, to not have an arm go up and straight. But that's probably the biggest knock on this one, is the poor arm articulation due to the sculpt. But the sculpt is nice. I think it's done well, but I would have preferred to have a little more articulation there instead. Gray Fox is definitely more articulated, or I should say he has better range of motion in the places he's articulated. And Raiden from Rising seems to be about on par as far as range of motion goes. So there you have it. Thanks for checking me out. The next one I'm expecting to get is the Kotobukiya Bishojo Psylocke, the new Psylocke, the ninja suit version, the X-Force version, whatever you want to call her. She should be here in a few days, hopefully soon after Christmas. And on that note, if you're whatever you're celebrating at the end of the year here, enjoy it, whether it be Christmas or whatever. And I'll see you hopefully before next year. We shall see. Fingers crossed. Thanks for checking me out. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Share my videos, and leave me some comments. And I'll see you next time.